Yeah, so it's quite funny actually. I'm just outside the gym at the moment and I actually been wanting to start Muay Thai one-on-one training for a while, and I had this guy in mind who's going to be doing a one-on-one session for me today. The first session of Muay Thai I've ever done, one-on-one. And I actually lost his phone contact. I had it for a bit because he's one of the managers at the gym here and he told me he did Muay Thai. He's going back about a year now. But I actually just managed to bump into him on the street, basically, just purely by chance yesterday. And I said, look, mate, can you do some one-to-one with me? And it's going to be about, I think it's 300 baht per hour, which I'll put the price up there. It's bloody cheap for one-on-one training, especially for like a specialized martial art like this. So let's get in there and see what the session's like.
Now we started off just wrapping up the hands Muay Thai style. It's a little bit of a different way to wrap the hands versus kickboxing or conventional boxing. And then from there we proceeded to get into just a basic warm-up, just working on stance, bopping up and down on the feet. My calves were absolutely burning from this. The whole warm-up was probably about maybe 10 minutes or so. A few star jumps, burpees, press-ups in between, working on the stance, bopping side to side, just throwing the fists out. I didn't really like this style of warm-up, but I don't actually really like warming up in general. I find it pretty boring, whether it's a jog or a row or something like that. A few runs around the area up top. There's a strength training gym down below where I do usually go ahead and train. Now he's just showing me the basic stance for the jab, the cross, and just proceeding into talking about how with Muay Thai you're very light on that front foot, and with conventional boxing it's a little bit more weight distribution is even throughout both feet. I personally took a lot of time to get used to this lightness on the front foot and bopping of that front leg. But essentially the purpose of it is to keep it light so that you can actually parry or defend that kick. When that body kick comes in, you can lift the knee up high to actually guard yourself. Bit of a weird little thing going on here. Not sure what the purpose of that was. Maybe keep the heat up. A few more burpees, of course. And just a bit of light striking onto the pads there. And this is when the session, 90 minutes in total, but I was definitely starting to feel the fatigue. I hadn't done any training like this in really probably about a couple of years, so in terms of high intensity training, maybe 1.5 to 2 years, nothing really like this. I've only just really gotten back into strength training, squats, deadlifts, conventional compound lifts in the gym, but you definitely need to get this kind of work in as well, otherwise you will lose it. Now we're just proceeding into a bit of pad work on the bag, the jab cross, slowly moving into a front kick as well. Needed to re-wrap the hands as they were coming loose. I'm not sure if he just gave me the wraps because he didn't have a pair of gloves for me spare, but I have since ordered some, a MMA pair of gloves, because I do want to focus on MMA training specifically, BJJ and striking. Now this here may be a bit of an obvious tip for people who have done Muay Thai before or kickboxing. I didn't really know this actually, but if you're going to hit a bag or just any target with the top of the foot, you're going to break your foot or badly bruise it best case, and it bloody hurts, so don't do it. You got to aim to get your shin on there. Your shin's got to hit the target, not the top of your foot. So I banged the top of my foot on there a couple times and it bloody hurt, and I wasn't even trying to kick the bag too hard. One thing as well, you'll probably see here that I'm quite tight in my groins, hip flexors, hamstrings. That is absolutely not going to serve you at all for kickboxing or Muay Thai, or just even general well-being and longevity. Guys in particular, you want to really get a weekly routine of working the hamstrings, the quads, the glutes, everything. All the muscles in the legs, you want to keep stretching them so you can be open and mobile like this fella here, my coach. Really open, as you can see, through the hamstrings. He stayed mobile clearly his whole life. So now we're working into a bit of pad work specifically. Again, working on that roundhouse kick, jab cross. And right now he's talking to me a little bit about how it feels a bit unnatural. Why is it unnatural? And I'm basically wasn't sure that, or I didn't know that he wanted me to like double up on the kicks. You can't actually see it too well, but being very light on that back foot and turning that back heel in as I land the consecutive blows. He's throwing a few ducks in there. I had to really duck down because he is quite short. And then yeah, we're just continuing to work on this here. So these kicks are definitely probably the area I want to focus on improving the most. I mean, I need to improve everything, but I think those kicks for me probably felt the most unnatural out of everything we did in this session. And this, toward the end of the 90-minute session, I was really starting to feel the fatigue, but I was just kind of getting into it. I love watching UFC in particular, and I love the stories that the fighters go through, and the motivation, the dedication, the hard work, and the commitment, and it's quite inspiring. So, you know, I do draw a lot of good energy for that, and try and, you know, the aim here is to try and bring that into all things that I want to accomplish, whether it's in business, in family, relationships, try and have that same level of discipline, commitment, etc. through getting into a bit more of a discipline like this.
Tired. Yes. Tired.
So basically here, I'm cracking up because he's got like a really Aussie accent, the way he's saying this here. And I'm just basically explaining that it sounds particularly, I'm trying to explain in my broken Thai that it sounds particularly Australian rather than just conventional British English or American, I suppose. What I'm noticing here looking back is I've really got to focus on getting my jabs and my cross fists down to the ground upon landing the strike. He did tell me this in the session, but it's really good to get this visual feedback, and also keeping my eyes on the target like that there when I actually land the punch or the kick, not turning my head away too much. Also ducking there, keeping eyes on the target. He kept saying, you know, look up, keep eyes on the target. And now, last 9 minutes, they're dire. I'm just absolutely shattered at this point, trying to keep it together, but the technique is starting to really break down now.
It was a good session. I'm absolutely fucked. But really good to push the cardio. Good to start working on the basic technique, the roundhouses, the front kicks, the jab, the cross. It's all just a lot harder than it looks on TV when you watch the boxers and the UFC fellas fight. So, but yeah, look, it's important skills to learn, and it's not just bashing the body, you know, as I said, you're learning those skills as well. So I'm going to be coming back, having another bash tomorrow, guys. Yeah, like, subscribe, comment if you enjoyed this kind of content, and we'll keep it coming. Peace, guys.